Hi Cancer, I hope you're all doing well. We're going to get into your general reading and see what Spirit wants to talk to you about today. These are general, timeless messages. Whenever you come across this video, it could be for you. Now, I hope you can hear me. Leo had a hard time hearing me, and I feel like that's a message for you, okay? So, or for someone out there who I'm connecting to. There might be a Leo that's having trouble hearing what you have to say, or they want to hear from you, or the Leo in your chart, wherever Leo rules in your chart, whatever house or planet or whatever, wants you to check back in with that aspect of yourself, okay? Something about Leo and Cancer at this time is significant for someone. I just saw 44 on the clock. So Cancer, I'm filming this on October 10th, and today Pluto went direct, which is a big deal. And I didn't realize that until, I don't know, about 10 minutes ago, when I was trying to figure out why Spirit was guiding me to do a reading for you that has all these different placements in the spread that begin with re. So I was getting like, we'll look at what you're reviewing, what you've released, what you need to respect a little more in the energy, what you need to reintegrate, what you need to return to sender, what you need to reap and get ready for, and what has been recorded by Spirit. What karma has been cleared or what lesson has been learned. So I was sitting here like, what the heck is with all these re's? And then I realized, oh, retrograde. It's about the retrograde. So whenever you see this reading could apply for you, but it does have something to do with Pluto going direct. Okay, so let's see what Spirit wants to say. Now, if you don't know much about Pluto, Pluto is a power planet. It's a planet of control, but also transformation. It usually represents the shadow side of us because it's so far off into the distance. It's something that we can't really see. But when we do connect and make contact with our Plutonian aspects in our chart, we are prime and ready for massive transmutation and transformation. It's where we have a metamorphosis, a rebirth. Again. Okay, Cancer. So let's get into your reading. I'm going to do this re-spread that I have written down here for you. And I'm using a few different decks. Probably going to use the Angel Tarot for this or the Pulp Tarot. And then we have this Oracle deck, Poesis, and also the Archetype decks by Kim Krantz. So let's get into it, Cancer, and see what's going on. Now, I also wanted to say that these decks, I'm just looking at the backs of them here. We have red, this is all party message, and blue. And I also have this other, the green Mangerie deck. I think that's how you say it, but I'm not feeling guided to use it for you. But there's something about blue and red, maybe green, and these could represent the root chakra, the throat chakra, and maybe the heart chakra at this time. I don't know. There's something about that that's not really as important as your throat chakra and your root chakra. So your throat chakra is all about speaking your truth and being able to discern the truth, being clear in your communication and your thought. And the root chakra is about safety, security. It's about a sense of belonging and sense of self, a love in your sense of self, loving your sense of self. It's interesting because I'm not getting loving yourself. It's like loving your sense of self. Interesting. Okay, Cancer. It's a lot of talking we've done. Let's see what we get for you. I'm going to put them face down, so we'll go through them together. Spirit guides, what message do we have for Cancer about this Pluto retrograde energy we're picking up on? Now, I didn't do this for any other sign yet, this kind of reading, so there's something very particular about your energy, Cancer, where you're being deeply affected here. I'm hearing the moon. The moon is your ruler. Maybe there's something with Pluto and moon conjunct that's going to be significant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. I'm hearing Elise, but it sounds also like release. Could also be a lease, like you're leasing something. Maybe a metaphor too. Okay, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Andy. This is 13 Moon Tarot. If you're returning, I love you guys so much. I'm an intuitive reader, meaning I pick up on the energy, I read the energy, and I use the cards to help me translate the energy that I'm feeling and perceiving and sensing. So if that's not your jam, that's cool. But that's what we do over here. Okay, so I guess we're using the Pulp Tarot for you. So the root chakra, something about safety and security, love in the sense of self. I feel like when I say love in the sense of self, it has something to do with like loving your identity or your ego. Now, I'm not saying like, you know, I know people talk a lot about how the ego is something that we have to get rid of, but the ego is like almost similar to our persona, but it's how we navigate the world. You can have a shadow ego and you can have an ego that is more in alignment with your higher self. You know, when we say we're in alignment with our higher self, we're talking about the ways in which our ego is aligned with spirit or our higher calling. So you can be very conscious of your ego, and that's okay, and that can be a good thing. That is a good thing. It's a very good thing. So remember that, okay? There's some kind of maybe persona or identity, or you have to use your ego a lot. Maybe in your work, you have to interface with the world, or maybe you're putting up a boundary and you need to like call on your ego to help you do that. You know, we have an ego for a reason. It's a very beneficial tool, Cancer. Whoa, this is a different energy I'm picking up on today. Okay, let's see. So what is up for review? What was up for review during the Pluto retrograde and maybe still is for you? Let's see. The Shaman. Ooh. Yes, I feel like I'm tapping into some energies that are ready to go deep. Sovereignty. Oh, I love it, Cancer. And the Seven of Pentacles. What was up for review? Well, there has been a yearning and a striving for sovereignty, for freedom in your life, maybe from a situation, or maybe just to be able to release your magic into the world, to feel like you are in control of your own creations, that anything is possible. I feel like this has been a little bit of a struggle in the recent 7 years, I'm hearing. In the past 7 years, it's been a little bit of a struggle. Oh, Seven of Pentacles. Yes, of course. You've gained many, many lessons. Maybe there's been 7 lessons. Something to think about. If you were to write down the 7 lessons you've learned in the last 7 years, what would they be? But there's a level here of maybe just going with the flow. I'm hearing down in the doldrums, just kind of one foot in front of the other, even though things aren't quite working out the way that you wished or hoped that they would. And now with Pluto direct, it feels like what was bottled up inside is going to be freed, released, an energy, like there's something breaking to free the energy. So you could be releasing something. I'm hearing a karmic debt. Ooh, maybe you were trying to help somebody out with their karma. Not sure. Maybe you were learning a karmic lesson yourself, but there's something here that's been broken, a relationship, a place you were living in, a mental way of processing a situation, a memory, a friendship. It could be anything in your life. But something broke, and I'm seeing it like breaking a seal, and it's allowing the energy to now flow out. This is amazing, Cancer. This is a highly conscious awareness type of energy that I'm picking up on here. Okay. So what has been released or still needs to be released? We all are on different places on the timeline. My Venus is in Cancer, as is my MC, so I'm tapping into this reading myself. Okay, so let's see. The Forest. Celebrate. Seven of Swords. Yeah, we need to release that. I feel like Cancer, immediately my intuition is telling me there have been some people around you, friends maybe, or colleagues, or maybe this is multiple relationships, I'm not sure, but it's like you were in the forest here, dancing with them, having some fun, and there's something about their energy that isn't quite serving you. It could even be a community of people. I'm hearing love letters. I don't know what that's about for everyone. There's something here I feel that actually goes back to childhood when it relates to friends and friendship. There were people, or there are people around you that you can't quite trust, or you feel like you can't open up to them and tell them what you're thinking. Maybe these are friends that were judgmental, but I feel more it's like energies that were just interested in having fun or doing the easy thing in life, or maybe they were into some kind of gossip or something like that. I'm hearing a coven. Maybe you're breaking out of a coven. I don't know. I don't know. But it does have that kind of witchy vibe with these people dancing around in the forest. And maybe these person, whoever it is for you, felt like they saved you from a difficult time at some point or brought some magic into your life. But there's something unsettling about the energy, something that you feel like you can't see. And so you're releasing this because perhaps this is what needed the seal that was keeping your energy stuck. Okay? Yeah, I feel like you're clearing out friendships or frenemies even. I'm hearing, who needs frenemies? Nobody. Or colleagues that were, impacting you at work, or family maybe, anybody really, but you're clearing them out. And I feel like these people did serve a purpose at some point. But there's something here about them that you feel they don't respect you. So let's go to the respect. What energies do you need to respect at this time? The mirror. Ooh, okay, we're getting deep now because I'm seeing the Seven of Swords looking over here at the mirror. So it's possible that these friends here were mirroring back aspects of you that you had already outgrown. So maybe, like for example, I had some friends that I grew up with I knew for like 20 years, a long, long time. And we were just kind of doing the same thing over and over. And I didn't feel like the relationship was growing into anything more evolved. It was just kind of like what we were doing in our 20s, we were still doing in our late 30s, and I just was like, I don't know if this is a relationship that is serving me at this point. Like, we need to grow and we need to evolve together, right? And I feel like maybe these people are mirroring something to you that you're like, I'm not sure that represents a part of me anymore. Or changing careers, being like, I don't really think that this whole thing, this whole framework at work or ideology or mission statement really aligns with my core values. All right, let's see. Embrace and the devil. Ooh. Mirror, embrace, and devil. Wow, Cancer. Your shadow self or the shadow self of others has taught you a lot, this Pluto retrograde. And Spirit says that that's something that you have to pay respects to. Embracing your shadow side. Now, I'm not saying get all dark and gloomy and start acting buck wild from a shadow place. That's not what I'm saying when I say embrace your shadow. I'm saying realize and everybody has a shadow. Everybody. I'm hearing even Eckhart Tolle has a shadow. It's true, right? Okay, 2:33 on the clock. That could be significant for someone. Eckhart Tolle. Yeah, anyways. I'm hearing hi. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like Eckhart Tolle saying hi. It's okay. Anyways, let's get back to Earth here. there's something about your shadow that teaches you more of who you are and what you need to reintegrate into your life. What aspects of yourself have you pushed aside because they were too painful or other people criticize them? Those aspects usually are what lie in the shadows, and they're hurt, they're wounded, and they want to be acknowledged and reintegrated. And when we don't do that, when we don't acknowledge those aspects, or we're unaware of them, then they begin to act out and we sabotage ourselves from our own shadow space, or we do harm to others, even maybe sometimes without even knowing it, maybe sometimes by knowing it. And Spirit is saying, you've done a great job, this Pluto retrograde, integrating those shadow aspects, becoming more aware of those wounds, healing them, embracing them, and seeing how the people around you are mirroring certain aspects to you that either need to heal or that you've outgrown, or maybe even that you like about yourself. Okay, so this is beautiful. This is great. One of the best things we can do is to love another for who they are, recognizing their differences, but also connecting with another with the awareness and realization that they will always reflect a part of us back to us. And that's maybe why we love them, or maybe part of the reason why we love them, or maybe it's part of the reason why we don't. Okay, that's great. That's really good, Cancer. Okay, let's see. What do you need to reintegrate from the shadow? So what is it exactly from the shadow that you need to reintegrate? The offering. Ooh, I love that. See that hand coming out of the shadow? Choice. The Eight of Pentacles. One second. Let me tap in here. There's a few different things coming up. The first one's very obvious. It's that, what you've reintegrated or integrated, but I'm getting the re. So maybe this was already integrated at some point, and then something happened in your life where you said, no, I don't want that part of me, or I don't want to look at that painful thing anymore. It's too much. Okay. So what you're reintegrating is, I feel like for a lot of you, it's the conscious awareness and conscious choice that you can work on your shadow. It's like realizing your own power with going back to the shaman. In order to release energy, to break the seal, to manifest the things that you want in your life, to feel your full essence and power and your beauty and your soul, you need to be willing to work on the darker aspects of yourself. And perhaps there was a time where you didn't want to look at that. And now you're reintegrating your willingness to work on those aspects. That's for some of you. For others of you, this is literally about work, okay? And making a choice, a difficult choice when it comes to work. And realizing what offers in terms of career or creative projects, or basically what you spend your days doing, okay? And you could be a mother, it could be anything, right? Whatever you consider to be work, so-called, for money, or just your energy that's the best way to put it. Wherever your energy is going on a consistent, constant basis. You're realizing that some of the choices you've made in that arena have been coming from the shadow. They're offerings from the shadow. And maybe these choices have not panned out or let you down, but they weren't mistakes. Nothing's been a mistake. I feel Spirit wants me to say that to you. Nothing's been a mistake. You've had a few practice runs with something, could be love, could be career, but it's not a mistake. You're working towards some kind of perfection here. There's something about your vulnerability that is really beautiful. And I feel like, you see how he's painting her? Well, that's what it looks like, presumably. And she's nude. And he's painting her as this pentacle. And he's seeing her vulnerability as magic, as the combination of the 4 elements plus spirit, as something that I'm hearing has core magic. You have some kind of magic in your core. And the way to access that is through your vulnerability, by being vulnerable with yourself. And maybe these friends weren't very vulnerable, or these people, or this person, but you sure are. And that is one of your strengths. And I feel like Spirit is saying you have an opportunity to choose a new path, one that requires you to be vulnerable on some level as you perceive it. But that is exactly where you will find love for the self, a sense of perfection in what you do and who you are, because it's coming from your core essence. It's kind of emotional. It's a little touching there. So what's being reintegrated from the shadow is vulnerability. You're allowing yourself to become vulnerable. This could be creative vulnerability. It could be anything. I know I say that a lot, but it really could. It could be anything. All right. What do you need to return to sender? Nope, not going to be reintegrating that energy. What's going back to where it needs to go? Come to where it needs to go, or where it came from. Interesting. The vessel. You have been holding on to someone's energy here that you need to return. We have joy. 3 of Swords. Well now, Cancer, you've been holding on to energy that does not belong to you. There are some cruel people in the world, living in their shadow contracts, in their shadow self, totally unconscious, unaware of how it's affecting them and their karma. There are people who don't believe in any of that stuff, you know. There are people who act out of pain and hurt and wounds. And I feel like you've come across such people, or maybe one particular person like that, who maybe got some kind of joy out of inflicting chaos, confusion, pain. And you've been holding on to that, you know? You've been the vessel for their pain. I also feel like for some of you, I'm hearing karma dump. It's like someone dumped all their karma onto you, into you, for you to resolve for them. It's like you became the bearer of either their joy or their sorrow. It's like they put that responsibility on you. Cancer, it's your fault that I'm sad. It's because of you that I'm happy, you know? And having to balance that or negotiate that or create that reality for someone is not what you're here to do. You're not here to work with and resolve somebody else's energy. So that's what needs to be returned to sender. Being the vessel for someone else's karma, being the vessel for someone else's pain and pleasure. Okay. So what can you get ready for? What are you ready to reap? The 1. With soften. Beautiful. And the 5 of Swords. I feel like Spirit is saying here, what is coming towards you next, what you're going to reap, is an energy that doesn't make you feel like you have to put on this battle gear in the 5 of Swords. Go to mental war with someone, psychological warfare, or emotional warfare, or have to be cunning and dodgy and try to figure out what the person's doing and what they're up to and what is their real intentions. Instead, there's an energy coming towards you that is softer, that reflects your light instead of your shadows. This could be the job, the person, the trip, the house, the best friend. It's something you have a soul contract with. Spirit's saying, get ready to soften. You've been through a lot here. You really have been through a lot. And you've been in this energy of like, I got to watch my back. I got to figure out what people's intentions are so they can't get one over on me. And I understand that, Cancer, because you've been the vessel for someone else's pain, or they've tried to make you the vessel for that. But Spirit's saying you can get ready to soften, because there's something coming towards you that is not a threat to you, that is made out of love for you. So let's see what's been recorded in the Akashic records or by Spirit, what karma has been cleared, or what's been the lesson. Oh, we have agape. It's like pure love, the essence of pure love, birth, self-love, yeah. Love of a sense of self. And the Eight of Cups. You walked away from something, this is very clear. You walked away from something that was not serving you, that was emotionally depleting, soul-sucking in some cases, and decided to birth something new, something beautiful. Maybe from your root chakra, feeling secure, feeling safe. There's like a rebirth here happening when it comes to the essence of love, like understanding and feeling the energy of love. What does the energy of love feel like? And I don't necessarily mean love with someone. I just mean in general. You can sit in a room alone and feel love. Love for a sense of self. All right, Cancer, I'm going to go into an extended. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper and see what else wants to come out. I have a few other re's that I didn't include in this that I might dip into now. Yeah, I feel like that would be a good place to go. But if you don't want to come to the extended, or you can't for whatever reason, that's okay. Trust that you received everything that you need here. I love you so much, Cancer, and I'll see you next time.